little bit of a monkey wrench. He's definitely got some records that are considered unbreakable. Most weeks ranked number 1 in the world for men. Most consecutive weeks ranked number 1. And I think he still has the most Grand Slam titles for men.
I think he has the most Grand Slam titles in general.
Right.
But the problem I have with that, with what you're saying, Dan, is that there's a possibility that can be broken. Like, Djokovic is not a joke. He's gonna
the Joker.
Right, but he's going to keep going, and there is a chance that he surpasses Federer at some point. Like, it's 100% plausible. I don't know that anyone can beat women's wise. I mean,
so
just the titles alone and the accolades. I don't know that there's going to be a woman as dominant as Serena. Now, I don't like when she loses and she does not take it well. I think we can all agree on that. When she's losing, she starts to get upset and she starts to throw a fit about it, but her dominance is something that is hard to overlook versus her competition.
I agree, and the reason I put her on here is because when you think of the greatest men to ever play tennis, you think of guys like Roger Federer. You think of his contemporaries, Nadal, Djokovic. You think of the guys of yesteryear, Bjorn Borg. You think of Pete Sampras, John McEnroe. When you think of the greatest women's tennis player, it's Serena, huge drop, Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf. You know? So, there are huge drops.
I'm gonna counter-argue that. I'm picking Serena, one, because I think what we said earlier about Jordan being a brand, and Tiger really kind of became a brand. Serena has also become a brand. Can't say that about Federer.
She put tennis way more on the map than he did, I think.
And absolutely. And yes, obviously it helps that she's an African-American woman. Like, it stands out more than just another white guy playing tennis.
And her sister helps, too. The fact that she has a sister.
Has that working for her. But, so when Federer started winning majors in 2003, there actually weren't a lot of very good men's tennis players at that point in time. You had Andy Roddick, who was kind of in his heyday. But
greatest serve of all time.
Andre Agassi was retiring. Sampras had already retired. This is a few years before Nadal and several years before Djokovic. I mean, it was Federer beating guys like Leighton Hewitt, right? Who's that?
Right.
Whereas Serena was facing her sister. She was facing Kim Clijsters. She was facing Jennifer Capriati, Lindsay Davenport. Like, there were Martina Hingis. There were a lot of good women's tennis players when Serena started dominating, and then Sharapova came up, and then Ana Ivanovic. So she actually had a lot tougher competition early on getting the majors than Federer did. Federer was coasting for a few years before it took Nadal to really
push him.
Bring Federer, to push him, to show that he's the GOAT, not to take away from him. But I think Serena had more competition early on and had a lot more doors to kick down. And again, she just made herself into a brand. Like, she doesn't ever have to play tennis. She doesn't ever have to pick up a racket again if she wants to, and she's going to be relevant. If Federer stops playing tennis, we're never going to talk about Roger Federer again for anything else.
See,
that's why I pick Serena.
I do think someday we will see a female tennis player supplant her as the greatest of all time, because I just feel like no one's ever going to hold on to the greatest of all time for all time. Someone's going to be better.
That's a completely separate argument, because you want to talk about GOATs, the fact that we're even having this bracket is questionable, because this bracket matters now. Because 10, 20 years from now, this bracket can look entirely different. You don't know the talent that'll ever show up.
I mean, realistically, we could be talking about Zion Williamson. We could be talking about Pat Mahomes,
right,
Mike Trout.
About people that are literally just learning to walk right now.
Right.
the GOAT argument is one that you can have at the time that you're having it. But if we're having it this time, Serena, for what she did, who she is, and how she's still doing it, as much as I hate watching her as similar to LeBron James, I don't respect sore losers. I don't like them for that fact, but I have to respect their fucking talent.
So you're going Serena?
I'm going with Serena over Federer, yes.
So we got 2 for Serena. Dan Beebe, Dan O'Shea. Thoughts?
Serena go with Federer better. Good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think we've made the points. I've heard talk of Steffi Graf in the Serena Williams conversation, but I think it's not really even close. And Federer has Joker and Nadal, and I think he even has. Does he still have losing records to them? I don't know, but Serena, her face was everywhere. So that and her dominance and longevity, I think give her the edge.
Okay, so that's it. We have Serena Williams moving on. Our Elite 8 is set, and we're going to get right into it and power through. First matchup in the Elite 8, Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor. I think there's not even a discussion here.
MJ.
Hard to argue against MJ, given that it took us
45 minutes.
most of the episode. Two completely different sports, but and we're gonna have to figure that out as we continue this goat thing. But I'm leaning MJ.
Okay, so we got 2 for MJ. Dan Beebe, Tony.
MJ.
So MJ moves on.
It has to be MJ. Just
All right. Moving on to the lower half of the team sport bracket. Jerry Rice, Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky going Gretzky. He's gonna be tough. He's gonna be tough to beat.
I'm going to give it to Gretzky.
All right. Wayne Gretzky moves on. That brings us over to the individual side. Muhammad Ali versus Michael Phelps.
Oh.
I think the next matchup is harder.
I gotta go Phelps here, just given the dominance factor. Ain't nobody beat Phelps.
I'm gonna go Ali here. I think now that we're getting into the nitty gritty of it, we're pretty much getting the best in each sport, right? So it's the best. So we have to find other things to use. And I guess like one of the parameters that I'm going to use is Muhammad Ali is pretty much like world renowned, and he's just beloved. Where Phelps has some of the controversies. I know it's kind of a crap argument, but if it's that close, maybe something like that tips the scales for me.
So the one thing that has always impressed me is how young some Olympians are. Michael Phelps made the Olympics at 15. That's just fucking incredible.
I mean, I'm sure Ali was knocking dudes out at 15. It just wasn't his sport at that time.
Yeah. And also a knock against Phelps for Tony. He went to Michigan.
Well, there we go.
So we got one for Phelps, one for Ali.
Yeah, I like that argument, Scott. I think I'll go with that as well. Ali had the image. He just, set his own records. He revolutionized boxing in his own sense, and I think that's just going to hold stronger than Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps was the hero of an entire country.
Yeah, until he wasn't. Muhammad Ali still is. We're gonna have to look at. We're gonna have to start factoring in.
He certainly wasn't to a lot of people in this country.
We're gonna have to start factoring in more than just the sports themselves when it gets this close, because, like I said, they're all in their own right. So now we have to find other things.
I don't know. I think you gotta look at their dominance above. I want to stick it more to the sports and their dominance above their peers in the sport. And Ali was, was losing to people around him. Phelps,
Yeah, I just don't think we can penalize. We can't penalize Muhammad Ali for the fact that there aren't any other good swimmers, though. Like, that's not his fault that Phelps didn't have any competition.
I mean, he's still the greatest Olympian of all time. So, you want to take it above one sport.
Right.
Got the best, the most
they're
medals.
he makes a good. Dan makes a good argument. Like, you act like the world isn't putting up the best that they have to offer. It's just the fact that Phelps was so superior. But I mean, in the same sense, Ali is fighting the same kind of sport. Like, you don't. Boxing is such a world sport that you're literally only going up against boxers who can reach that level and be that successful, no matter where you come from. Boxing doesn't give a shit. It doesn't care. You can be from the smallest country. You could be from fucking Moldova. But as long as you can fucking fight, you're going to be in that ring when the match matters.
Mm-hmm. So what's your pick, Ali or Phelps?
You asking me?
Yes.
I want to say Phelps because of what he's been able to accomplish, but I'm going to say Ali because I feel like we were stripped of the prime times of his year where he could have probably beat the shit out of anybody that stepped into that ring.
Okay,
That's true.
Muhammad Ali moves on in our final matchup in the Elite Eight. Tiger Woods, Serena
Tony
Williams.
Hawk! I'm sorry, who is it?
Tiger Woods, Serena Williams.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I'm leaning Tiger here as well.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have Serena Williams winning the whole thing.
Tiger Woods.
Well, you didn't have her facing Wayne Gretzky, so...
That's a good point, Scott.
I go Tiger. Well, let's move on.
Okay,
Tiger moves on.
Tiger Woods moves on. That sets our final four at Michael Jordan versus Wayne Gretzky.
I'm going Gretzky, and it's going to piss off a lot of basketball fans, but Gretzky is the great one. There is no debate in hockey as to Gretzky versus. It's just Gretzky.
If we're talking GOAT,
There's never a debate.
If we're talking GOAT, greatest of all time. Considering what Gretzky was able to do, Jordan's competition was great, and there's a lot of great players in there. But greatest dominance, going Gretzky.
All right.
His average season points was 142.5. No one's gotten close to that since Mario Lemieux did one time in '96. Oh my God, he had 215 points in one season. That's better than teams get. That's better than entire hockey teams get in seasons still, even though there's more scoring now than there was, and there's more talent as we were saying before, and still no one can touch him.
Okay.
Fun fact, Gretzky and his brother Brett still hold the record for most points by a brother duo, even though it's by Brett only got 4.
Okay, so we got 2 for Gretzky. We still need to hear from Dan Beebe and Scott.
Go ahead, Dan.
Ed Gretzky. Hands down.
No one's... So it's going to... Scott, what do you say?
I would have also went with Gretzky, not that it matters.
Wow, Gretzky in a sweep.
He wasn't even in the tournament, guys, and now he's in the finals.
Yes.
Moves into the finals.
It shows you how much Snyder fucked this up.
I told you it was going to be a flawed tournament from the very beginning. Anyways,
You're right, and this is flawed.
the other side.
Nicest way
Yeah, I mean, Gretzky and MJ probably should have been the finals, but
Juggles is over here eating fucking goldfish because he's so bored.
The other semifinal matchup, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods.